Milin Village versus Renee Bell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Max Mood on behalf of plaintiff.
Hello, your name?
Renee Bell.
Okay. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, at this time, my client indicates that there's a balance owing with court costs included in the amount of $1,201. I believe that we had adjourned this matter to give Ms. Bell a bit of time to look into funding assistance. And I believe Ms. Bell was also instructed to make a $500 payment to management. As of right now, I do not have an indication that she has done so. And I'd be interested to know if she has, and I don't have that update on the ledger or where we stand on that.
Did you pay the 500?
I was not able to. I have 250. The reason I couldn't pay 500, someone stole money from my purse, and I didn't realize it.
The total amount is $1,201, including cost, counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue after hearing in this matter. I'm going to issue a judgment for possession in the total amount of the $1,201 with a writ to issue on or after May 5th. So you're going to have to get this paid now.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Six Trails versus Jillian Fox.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. City Cats on behalf of plaintiff.
Uh-oh. What did Jukas do?
Go to
Yeah. Your name?
Jillian Fox.
All right. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, this is a non-payment rent possession case. There's currently a balance due, including court costs totaling $2,752, 2752.
Ma'am?
I was told by SOS that they would be able to help with this funding. I did submit all of the required papers for her. I have also contacted her 3 times this week. I have not heard back.
So you had an appointment with Hawk?
Yes, I had an appointment before the last hearing that we had. I submitted everything that she requested, and I have not heard back from her. So I am still under the assumption that they are able to help. That's what she did say. Once those,
Did she say they were going to pay that full amount then?
yes.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, and you can put this in any writing. I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue after hearing. I'm going to issue the judgment in that amount of 2752. However, rather than have the writ issue on the 5th, I will have the writ issue on the 12th.
Okay. And Your Honor, Amy's here. Is she able to just look at that information so we have some kind of idea?
Oh, she's on the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her all day. She's been so quiet. Hello, Amy.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I just wanted to offer that the caseworker is actually waiting on landlord documents. So if Mr. Katz can encourage his client, I've also let the caseworker know to reach out to you directly, attorney, if that's okay, to seek those documents as well.
Well, I'll let my client know to respond to them.
Thank you. That seems to be the only hold up here.
Okay, perfect. Your Honor, I'll put down the 12th on that. And
Very good. All right.
Thank you. Have a good
The
weekend.
time on the 12th.
You don't come back on the 12th.
Oh, I don't? Okay.
So what I gave is additional time so that they can get everything together.
Okay.
And then hopefully get it paid by that day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You have a great weekend.
You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. And Willow Ridge Apartments versus Abdullah. Yes, Mr. Katz?
Yeah, I forgot. That one's mine too. I sent in a dismissal.
Yes, you did.
Good thing I was
And
late.
your name, sir?
My name is Burhanu Abdullah.
Abdullah?
Yes,
They're dismissing this case. You okay with that?
absolutely.
All right. Case is dismissed.
Thank you,
Have a
Judge.
great one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, you folks must be waiting for the 3 o'clock. All right, well, I'm going to step off, wait for everybody to get here, and then I'll come back out. We'll get that done. Court stands in recess. Thanks.
District Court of County of Washington State of Michigan is now back in session.
You may be seated. Does call the case of Spice Streer Apartments versus Cameron Hall.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brianna Kingsley appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
And Latwana Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gail Rosen on behalf of Cameron Hall.
All right. And where are we on this case?
I just became involved in this case, Your Honor, and I have referred Ms. Hall, and she has several appointments with some services at University of Michigan, which might be able to help her with some of the back rent that's due. And so I'd ask for some more time to allow her to do that. She also was just hired for a full-time position, so hoping that that will start soon and will help with the rent as well.
So you took the advice and went and talked to him, huh?
Yeah.
You feel better?
Yeah, I do.
You know why I'm asking that?
No.
Because when you were up here the first time, you were lost.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you weren't even sure what you were going to do nor how to go about doing it, right?
Yeah.
Remind me again what your major was?
Sport management.
What?
Sport management.
Yeah. Still trying to figure that one out. But okay. So, how much does she owe at this point?
The balance with costs as of today's date is $3,280.50. It looks like some payments were made on 4/18, so that brought the balance down to $32.80.40.
On 4/18, they made payments?
Mhm.
And how much is her monthly rent?
Rental rate is $13.80 per month.
So we're going to be back on the first. We're going to be back up on around the $4,500 mark. Okay. Kingsley, I know you can't agree if I agree to give her more time, right?
Your Honor, actually, I just received Ms. Rosen's answer in affirmative defenses today, so I would like an opportunity to respond to the affirmative defenses. So I have no objection if you want to set this one out. I have Ms. Rosen's email. I'm happy to discuss a resolution with her.
I will then, I do not have the next 2 Fridays because of judicial matters that I'm going to deal with, so I will adjourn this. I'm sorry?
I will actually be gone the first week of May anyway, so if we could put this
Okay,
16th.
So my next available date is May 16th, if that works for everybody.
It does.
Fortunately,
Oh,
I will be out of town on the 16th for my niece's graduation.
got it. The 23rd?
23rd?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
At what time?
23rd,
At what?
2025 at 1 p.m.
Okay. And I'm sorry, my eyesight's so bad. Miss Kingsley, what's your first name?
Brianna.
Brianna.
Brianna. Okay. Thank you.
So young lady, one of the things you learn is sometimes you got to reach out for help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you from originally?
Southfield, Michigan.
You're from Southfield, so you're a Michiganian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You worked too hard to get to where you are. Let this put you down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank
It'll
you.
work
Ron.
out somehow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. And young lady, got a darn good attorney next to you. So. Calls case of Arbor Woods versus Kyle Casey.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Here.
Right. And what's the current, how much does this currently owe?
So, Judge, I actually had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Casey earlier. I spoke with my client, and I believe we have an agreement.
Okay.
So, my client has agreed to waive some of the month-to-month fees that we talked about last week when we were in court. So, they're going to waive $222 for the month-to-month fees. That would leave him with rent to retain of $349.79, court costs of $186, for a total of $535.75. My client has agreed to allow him until May 9th to have that paid, and then May rental charges will be due May 23rd, 2025. And they've authorized me to do this agreement as a conditional dismissal.
Sir?
What does that mean, Ms. King? Conditional mean? I'm sorry, I don't know the lawyer talk.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So
They
if I
would have
follow
the
through, we're
option.
good.
They would have the option of entering a judgment right now against you. It could even have those same terms. What they're agreeing to do is the case would be conditionally dismissed as long as you comply with those terms, meaning the payment of the back due balance. You said by the 9th?
Yeah, I believe we spoke. It was May 9th for, what was it, like 525 or something?
535.75. Yep.
535, okay.
And then you would pay your May charges by
the
May 23rd.
Yeah, which is
right?
720.
It's going to end up being like $780 when I calculated it.
So they're going to give me a late fee. They're not going to.
Because they're giving you additional time. Yeah. You'll have to pay the late fee for May.
Okay.
Okay. So, and the benefit for you is that there won't be a judgment as long as you comply with that. And once you comply with those two terms, then the case remains dismissed. Okay. If you
Yes, sir.
fail to, and you're going to do this as a 4B case, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if you fail to comply with those terms, the plaintiff, by submitting an affidavit, could have the case reopened, ask the court to enter a judgment as well as an order of eviction all at the same time, which the court would sign off on, right?
Okay.
And then there would be a judgment against you as well as an order of eviction would be signed at that time. But as long as you comply with everything, then the case remains dismissed. You follow
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I got you. Yes, sir.
All right. You have any other questions regarding it? And so that you know, they could ask to reopen the judgment and the order of eviction. That would be done without a hearing before this court. They could just do that on paper to the court.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I shouldn't have an issue paying that.
Okay. All right. You have any other questions about that?
I just want to ask Ms. Kingsley if because we spoke earlier about my more personal matters. If those things proceed, can I give you a call about something and maybe
Just call
work
my
it out?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. I'm good then.
All right.
Oh, I've
So-
already drafted the conditional dismissal. Mr. Casey, do I have permission to sign your name to it and file it?
Oh yeah. If you want, can you email me a copy?
Yep, I was gonna ask you if you want a copy. Do you
Yeah,
want to put your email address in the chat so that it's not over live stream?
Yeah. Yes, I will right now.
We'll get that. We'll probably have to forward it, but if you put your email in there. And sir, I do have to advise you that you have 3 business days from the date of my signing of that conditional order of dismissal. If you believe that there's some mistake, some confusion on your part, some right you didn't assert, or something along those lines, you'd have to file a motion with the court within 3 days of my signing of that conditional order of dismissal. That
Okay.
doesn't mean that I would grant your motion to set it aside, but you have those 3 business days to file that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic. I'm glad it all worked out. So I'll mark this file conditionally dismissed and I'll wait for the order.
Okay, and I put my email in that chat. If you want to confirm, you can see it at least.
I can see it, and
Okay.
probably Ms. Kingsley, I don't know if you can see it or not. If you can't, you can.
What? At least somebody can.
All right, I'm writing it down right now.
Okay. And yeah, I'm good then. Thank you guys, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Arbor Woods versus Tamika Mason and Jimmy Mason.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Hello, Tamika Mason.
And Jimmy Mason. All right, very good. Okay, they're here. What is plaintiff's claim now in this case?
So, Your Honor, I actually also had an opportunity to speak with Mrs. Mason today, and my client has accepted her proposed offer, if I may place those terms on the record.
Absolutely.
So, rent to retain is $1,497.25. There's $242 in court costs for a total of $1,739.25. That amount plus the May 2025 rental charges are to be paid as follows: $500 today, $600 May 2nd, $600 May 9th, $600 May 16th, $600 May 23rd, and any remaining balance, which I calculated out to be about $575, would be due by May 30th. And it's my understanding the defendant's lease agreement also expires at the end of May, and they're agreeing to vacate the property.
All right. Is all of that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you heard my explanation of a conditional order dismissal to the other party?
Yes.
Okay, so that if you fail to make one of these payments, the plaintiff can reopen the case, file a judgment, as well as an order of eviction be signed, and that would be done without a hearing.
Right.
All right. Do you have any other questions regarding that?
No, sir.
All right. And would Ms. Kingsley have permission to sign your name to that conditional order of dismissal and submit it to the court?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Fantastic. Then I'll mark this file conditionally dismissed.
All right.
Wonderful. It
Thank
worked
you.
out. Good luck.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Arbor Woods versus Lisa Thompson.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Lisa Thompson.
Got it. All right. Okay, and where are we on this case?
So, Judge, we were here last week. Ms. Thompson was to make a $1,000 payment. My client confirmed that she did drop off the $1,000 payment. So, her balance with costs is $2,057.47. She dropped off a $1,000 payment. That would bring her down to $1,057.47.
All right, Ms. Thompson, how are you going to get that paid?
Sir, I don't get paid again till the 2nd, and then the 16th. So what my plans is to make another payment that following Monday after that Friday, and then have everything caught up by the 19th of May. And that's my main rent, lot rent as well.
Okay, so you're going to pay everything by the 19th, but on the 2nd, How much are you gonna pay?
Sir, I'm hoping I can pay $1,000 by then.
Okay, so you're gonna pay another 1,000 by May 2nd.
That's my plan. Well, the
Okay,
Monday.
Oh, the 5th.
Yes, because I don't get off work till after the office closes.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll tell you what we can do in this case and what I probably prefer to do. Do you think if you could pay the 1,000, do you think you can pay the 5,747 also?
Well, yes, yes, I do. I think I can pay the 1,100 actually.
On that date of the 5th?
Yes, I'll get another check, cashier's check.
All right. So here's what I'll do, ma'am. I'm gonna issue a judgment finding no tribal issue after hearing. And the reason I'm doing that is that way we're not dealing with May charges. We're just gonna get you caught up, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then what I will do is I'll give you to the 9th to get that paid. That's over the objection of plaintiff, but I'll extend your writ date out a couple of days. And that way you can get that all paid and then you'll be all set and you can then work on May.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So I'll
yes,
grant
sir.
that judgment to the plaintiff. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Arbor Woods versus April Tubbs Streeter
Brianna Kingsley.
and Elise Streeter. Hello. What's your name?
April Tubbs Streeter.
All right. And where are we on this case?
So, Judge, we were here last week. Miss Tubbs Streeter had appeared. She had raised a couple of issues, one with the lease agreement, the other one with the water sewer charges. So I have updates on both. A few things. She dropped off a $677 payment. The second thing is I confirmed with my client that they already adjusted the water sewer that was posted on April 1st. So those credits have already been performed on her account. And then the third thing is the way that DocuSign works, they can't reroute the lease agreement to go to Miss Tubbs Streeter's email again. However, the lease agreement has been printed and it's ready for her to be picked up from the office.
And she's showing it. I think she picked it up, right?
Yeah, we did
okay.
it this morning. She had just talked to you. We did it this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me this morning. So perfect. Okay, awesome. So the remaining balance due with costs is $538.25.
$538 and I'm sorry, how many?
25 cents.
25 cents.
So they didn't make any adjustments?
No, they made the adjustments.
So that's with the adjustments?
Yes.
Correct.
So is that including that water bill?
They adjusted your water bill. That's what she said.
No, so the amount of the water bill that was adjusted for us to pay, is that included in that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can you break that payment down for me, please? Because I got rent coming up and mortgage.
I am showing that the water was adjusted to $34.17 and the sewer was adjusted to $17.58 for the month of April. So those credits were already done. So it would be the remaining balance due from the water sewer, late fees, court costs. We get to $538.25.
Because I have both of those coming up, can we break those payments down? And
Okay,
the 15th
just
and the
hold on.
30th,
What are you trying to do?
the remaining balance that she said that I have.
You what?
The remaining balance that she said that I have,
Yes.
because I have rent, lot rent coming up and I have mortgage coming up. Can they break those two payments down for me?
What do you mean?
Break the
Payment?
500 down, yeah.
Okay,
Give me
let
a
me
payment
ask you
plan for
this.
that. Yeah.
The $538.25, when can you get that paid? If you had to get that paid, when can you get that paid?
I'll have it all paid.
Pardon?
I can have it all paid by the 29th. Well, actually, you know what?
29th of this month?
No, I was saying by the 29th of next month of May, but I can have it paid by the 15th of May.
As well as,
My regular month.
so you,
I want to pay
you
May,
can pay May?
and then by the 15th, I'll have that the remaining balance of the 5 something she said it was.
Okay, so
Does that
hold
make
on.
sense?
No, I think I'm hearing you, but I just want to make sure. Your May rent is how much?
It'll be 677, correct? Because it doesn't.
Okay, because that's what you paid
Mhm.
the other time.
No,
Okay.
it'll be, just to clarify, Judge, it'll be $677 plus the water sewer and charges. That
Got it. Okay, so I guess what I'm getting at is you can have everything paid by you said 16th?
Yeah, and then I guess I would have to hold on to that because they have it now where you can't do a partial payment. So that would be considered a
We'll
partial
take care of
payment,
that.
right?
Just,
Okay.
You're trying to make my life complicated.
I'm not trying to make it any complicated. No, I'm not. No. But yes, I can
Okay,
have
so
my regular
hold on.
payment.
Hey, hold on. And I know you're dealing with it where you're looking at each month that you're paying.
Mhm.
I get that.
Mhm.
So what I'm asking you, just put May aside for a moment because it's not due. When can you have this 538.25?
By the 15th. Well, you know what? Okay, you said we're gonna put that aside.
Put-
So I can
put
have
May
that, I
aside
can have
for-
that by the 30th
You'll have that by the
Yeah.
30th of
of April.
April.
Yeah.
So you can get that paid by April 30th?
Yes,
Okay. And get it into them by that date.
yes.
Okay, then here's what I'm gonna do. And this will probably be over plaintiff's objection, but I'm gonna do it this way for you because I know you're trying to get everything paid. My next date is May 16th. I'm going to adjourn the matter out to my next date.
Okay.
At 12 p.m.
Mhm.
The reason I'm doing that is if you get that payment in before this month ends,
Mhm.
they're gonna dismiss the case.
Okay, so if I get the 5 something in,
The 538.25.
okay,
You got to get that into them. I'm going to order plaintiff to accept her payment. However they're doing that, I don't know if they close the portal or whatever, but to accept her payment,
Mhm.
you will have paid through the end of April,
Mhm.
then you're good. It'll be done.
Just to
okay, let's get this straight right here, Judge. So then by the 15th, I pay that 7 something, right?
By your May, I'm not trying to deal with your May rent.
Okay, so, okay,
I'm
okay,
just what I'm trying to do is get this paid,
okay,
get this case dismissed, and then you get your May payment in. You may have
Okay.
late charges, you may have those other things, but you're not with a court case.
Right.
Right.
okay, I hear you.
You got it?
Yes, I do.
Does that make sense to
Yes,
you?
it does. I appreciate it.
Okay, good, because a lot of people think what I say doesn't make sense. But Ms. Kingley's gonna yell at me about something right now, aren't you?
I just want a point of clarification. Is she intending to pay online or in person? Because the online system cannot accept partial payments, and that's not something that my client has control over. It's just the way the software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll bring it in.
Okay.
Bring it in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And I'll add the $10 because I seen it on the thing today and it is in the lease.
Okay, so you'll add that to
Yes, I
it.
will.
You'll get everything paid. And so when that clicks over effective that next Thursday, May 1st, you're gonna be clear.
It'll be there. Mm-hmm.
That work?
Yes,
Okay, and then that way, if everything's paid, you don't have to.
awesome. Okay, good.
Well, don't say it like that, like you want to see.
I only have Fridays off.
Okay, all right. That's the reason. I think
Yeah.
you were hurting my feelings. Okay,
No, but it's thank you.
all
All
right.
done.
You're all done.
All right. You all
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Donald Hammond versus Angela Hammond. Is it Chenard? Hammond? Well, hold on. Why do I have this case? Because this is not theirs. I don't.
That's weird.
That is weird. Is that on today? That looks like it got stuck in there someplace. Northfield Estates versus Tracy Schoonfield. Oh.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Schoonfeld? No response. You raise your right hand to be sworn. I'll let you proceed. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in light of the defendant's failure to appear, I would request entry of a default possession only judgment. I am showing rent to retain in the amount of $729.49, $213 in costs, totaled $942.49 for that amount to be paid on or before May 5th.
If that's by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ to issue 10 days. Northfield Crossing versus Eugene Rinky.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Eugene Rinky? Yes, I'm not picking them up or whatever. Oh, there he is. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we can hear you. All right, how much is owing on this case?
So, Judge, this is the defendant's motion, is continued motion,
Oh.
instead of the default judgment. So the default judgment was originally entered on February 14th. My client had requested the order of eviction. The order of eviction has been signed, and then the defendant filed this instant motion
He
on
did.
March 25th, 2025. So we were here last week. He had posted $800 into escrow. He gave my client $800, and then another payment of $840 has been made. Now, as far as the judgment, that still doesn't cure the judgment balance, and we're left with a remaining balance of $1651.36.
1651.36.
Correct. That's if you
But
apply
that-
the 800 from the escrow.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
And all right. So, sir,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right. How are you going to get the remaining balance paid? The 1651.
Right now, I'm working with Salvation Army to see if I can be able to offset the balance. I really want a little time to be able to get that result. And
Have you have you had your meeting with them yet?
Yes, I went to the office severally. I didn't see the management to talk to, and I spoke to her this afternoon. She told me that most of the decision is not with her right now; it's with the court. Whatever the court decides, that's what she's going to follow.
Okay. He's made some significant payment. How much was left on the judgment amount, counsel? Was it?
That's what I'm reviewing right now. It looks like the judgment was entered back in February 14th
Yes.
for 27.
271086.
Yep, that's what I have. 271086. So he made one $800 payment, and then he made an $840 payment, and then that leaves us with $1,070.86, and then the $800 in escrow, that leaves $270.86.
2786 is what he paid. Okay.
That would be what's left on the judgment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
$270 and
yeah, that would
and
be
86.
what's left on the
Okay.
judgment. Mhm.
Okay, if that was balance, I can have that paid next week, Monday then.
Okay, but that only clears you through February. Then you had your March and April rent click in. And so after everything's applied, that's where the 1651
Correct.
36 comes in. So, sir, when can you get that paid?
As I said, Your Honor, I'm working with Salvation Army. I just need some little time to take care of that, but I think I can come up with $600 next week and, pay $800 on it. And I'm working with Salvation Army. I just want a little time to see that work out, Your Honor.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do, sir. I'm going to, you paid quite a bit, but you're going to have to let the Salvation Army know that they need to get a decision to you, because what I'm going to do at this juncture, because we're going to click into May, and don't want to do that on this case. I'm going to deny your motion on this case. I will sign the writ in this matter that has been filed with. I'm sorry.
We already have it's already been signed.
I don't know that it's been signed because I've got the order of eviction here.
Oh, we had submitted
front of
an amended writ identifying that he had made a payment. So that second writ I don't think has been signed. The first writ was signed.
The first writ was signed, and then I have a writ from March 3rd.
Oh, okay.
That's your date that was signed.
Yeah, that's the first one. And then a second writ was processed.
Was it?
It was processed by my office. I'm not sure. Maybe the second writ hasn't been signed by the court yet.
I don't see a second writ.
Okay.
I see the first one.
I can submit another one.
All right. So why don't we do this? Submit a new writ with those payments in. I'm going to deny your motion on this, sir. I will just indicate that the writ will not be executed prior to, well, when did you meet with SOS or Hawk, sir?
Last week, Friday, when I left the office, I left the court, I went to the office, it was locked. On Monday, I was there. On Tuesday, I was there. The manager was not available because he said he had emergencies. But I called her this morning and spoke with her. She told me that the court had a decision that the matter is not in her hand at this time.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to have to let them know this. I'm going to deny your motion. I'll sign the new writ. It's not to be executed prior to the 9th of May. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
North Road Crossing versus Barbara Vargo.
Brianna Kingsley.
And,
Plaintiff.
well, it's only in Barbara's name, but easier. Hello.
Hello, sir.
State your names.
Arbor Vargo.
Michael Vargo.
All right. And where are we on this case with them?
So we were here last week. Both of them had appeared. Mrs. Vargo had an appointment with the VA this past Monday. I believe she was trying to get assistance through them. So I'm not sure how their appointment went.
You're right.
We've submitted all the documents and we've scheduled another appointment for Tuesday of next week at 2 p.m. to review we got the document filled out this week for the landlord to complete. They completed it.
The landlord did?
Yes.
Okay.
So the property manager, rather.
Okay.
And then submitted everything to her. So we have an appointment at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, April 29th to review the request.
to go over our bank statements, everything, and then she'll give us an answer then, what she can do for us
Okay.
on the 29th.
All right. I'm gonna go out on a little limb here because, and I'm gonna adjourn this to my next date of the 15th or the 16th. I've not heard of the VA turning it down.
Okay.
And so unless something strange happens. So I'm confident that they're gonna come through and do something. And quite frankly, usually with their cases, they not only pay the back rent, but they make sure to pay what month you're in, so you're not right back.
If not, we're also working with a social worker through the Housing Bureau of for seniors. Actually,
Okay.
Michael is. They're waiting to see what the VA comes back and if there's anything they can do, even if it's just our utilities or whatever.
Okay, so
they're
you're
going
working with Housing Bureau for Seniors. They're waiting on the VA's determination. And then, okay, that all actually makes sense. So over the objection plan, if I'm going to adjourn this to May 16th, 2025 at 12 p.m. And by that time, you'll at least have an answer from the VA. You'll have that.
Yes, we will.
All right. How you guys doing?
Good. Working hard. My body's getting used to working.
Okay. All right. And how are you doing, Tom?
It's sort of the same thing. I'm getting back up on my feet, do stuff around the house and that.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Like I said, the last time I saw you, you're looking real good. So, all right. You guys take care. Take care of each other, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Sarmms Farms versus Tiffany Copeland.
Anna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Tiffany Copeland, not here. You've been sworn. If you'd like to proceed, you may.
So, Judge, this is actually defendant's continued motion to set aside the default judgment that was sent on
it
April.
is.
So we were here last week. The defendant had indicated that she had claimed that there was still some issues with the water meter to the home. I confirmed with my client, as I stated last week, the freeze plate was the issue. The freeze plate has been placed back on the water meter. It's functioning properly. That's been addressed. I sent a couple photos to Ann so you could look at it. I'm not sure.
Yes, I did see it.
Okay, good. So Ms. Copeland has not paid the remaining balance. So at this point, I would request that her motion be denied and that my office be permitted to submit an order of eviction.
What's her balance?
So we have a default judgment for $8,411.95. With the prior motion she had filed, $5,915 were posted into escrow that's been applied to her balance. She then posted $1,000 into escrow for this account for this motion. That would bring her balance down to $1,561.95. That's remaining. $61.95.
Okay, and I have on April 21st, she posted an additional $1,590.
Oh, she paid it to the court?
I think she did, because I have a total in trust right now of $2,590.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that she was supposed to pay it to my client. So my client.
I think that's what I said, but I think because she had been making all of the payments here, she must have just did it that way.
So
that's
then,
probably why she's not here, because she's paid everything.
She paid it into escrow. Okay, so then could we enter an order denying her motion as moot and releasing the escrow funds to my client?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge. Do you want me to prepare an order?
Yes, if you could send over that way, I will write it in the file, so it might be on this way by the signature, but
okay.
Sarmms Farms versus Joanna Hollis. I do.
Brianna Kingsley.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for the plaintiff.
Yeah, no, this is Victoria.
Oh, Victor?
Yes,
is that you?
I'm here. Yes,
okay, she's here. All right. So he was supposed to pay $2,000 by today.
I don't believe that he's done that, Your Honor. I received an email from my client this morning. So unless he's dropped it off in the last 4 hours.
Sir, did you pay?
No, sir. I talked with the manager of the Sarmms farm that I'm ready to vacate the place and sell the mobile home. I was unable to get the money, so I'm ready to vacate the property and sell the home.
What was the last part of what you said?
Yeah, the last time I promised to pay some money, but I was not able to get the money at this time.
You're unable to get the money?
Yes, sir. So I decided to vacate the property and sell the mobile home.
All right. Counsel, how much do you have, Owen?
Balance is $3,417.33.
Give that to me. I'm sorry. My brain froze.
$3,417.33.
I'm going to find that after hearing no tribal issue a judgment for possession with that redemption amount, and that needs to be paid within 10 days.
Thank you, Judge. I will prepare an order.
Thank you. Sarmms Farms versus Teresa Tomasi.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
She is here. Ms. Tomasi?
I'm coming.
All right, you're right there.
Okay.
Okay. We got you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How much is owing on this account?
So the balance due is $3,041. We were here last week. Ms. Tomasi had applied and been approved for assistance through Hawk. She had a copay to make. There was a payment received for $442.28. I'm going to presume that was her copay that she had to make before Hawk will release the funds.
Yeah, the check came to the office from Hawk yesterday. The Jeanette called me yesterday. They got the 3,000 at the office yesterday. So that's the last I've heard. So if it's
Okay.
So Judge, my
Is that correct, Eddie, that you had I see Sarmms Farms on.
Yeah.
It's our main office, Judge, and they had to send it back to us, but we have it. It's on. They already approved for us to put it on her ledger, so she is good with us.
Oh, great. So this can be dismissed?
Patty, would you like to dismiss?
Yes.
Okay. I was waiting for somebody to tell me. Ms. Tomasi, congratulations. Fantastic. This case is dismissed. You have a great weekend.
You too, guys. Stay healthy.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Valley Ranch versus Brandon Coocher.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Brandon.
And how much is owing on this?
So balance due is $4,645.49. We were here last. Mr. Coocher had submitted a payment through MoneyGram. I believe there was an issue with MoneyGram, and he's trying to receive his money back from them.
That is correct, and we still have not. I wanted to get it by the end of the day yesterday to make it whole. We still haven't received it today, but we did speak to family today, and we can submit full payment. I know we've met several times now, and I don't want to waste any more time. But we can submit payment for the whole amount through their online process. Yes, it's just it's just not. Yeah, we had to ask for help because our money hasn't been returned from MoneyGram.
So when can you pay this full amount?
I literally talked to my parents this morning.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
I talked to my parents this morning.
When?
I talked to my parents this morning. We can do it this weekend at any point. The online portal is open all the time, so it can be done now, today, whatever.
Okay, so you can pay the 4,645. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing. You get that paid, no writ before the 7th of May. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. So just pay before writ issued, pay now, and there's no issue going forward. Continue the lease.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Real good. Thank you. Court does call the case of Whitaker Oaks versus Marjani Green.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Marjani Green.
Marjani Green and Daniel Keener. And how much is owing now?
Balance due is $2,754.16. Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff. I'm not sure if I put my appearance on the record.
Okay.
Balance is $2,754.16. We were here last week. Ms. Green had indicated that Hawk had approved her. However, I confirmed that she did receive a non-renewal notice. My office did issue her a formal notice to quit. It expires May 2nd. So I think at this point, my client would like to have possession of the property back. And it's my understanding that Hawk would not assist with payment. They would assist with relocation assistance in that sense.
Is that all correct, Ms. Green?
Yes, that's my understanding. I did try to reach out because Hawk said if they would extend the lease, then they would be willing to pay it. But I haven't been able to get in touch with the office.
Okay. So have you sought relocation fees or services through?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out at this point because I don't really know like what I can do further.
Okay, so what I'll do is this. You're not disputing the amount owed. They're gonna. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna issue a judgment for possession to the plaintiff for this amount. Finding no tribal issue after a hearing, but you need to get back in touch with SOS or Hawk regarding relocation assistance. And so No writ before the 9th of May.
All right, I will prepare.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Green. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I have Northfield Estates versus Costco, Sile Farms versus Dest, Sile Farms versus Rousseau, Sile Farms versus Leany, and all of those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Very
All
much.
right.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You do the same. Take care.
Bye.
Is that it for us? Yep. 14A, stand